Hello, middle schoolers, and welcome to Thursday lesson 4, Read 180. Just a quick reminder, the 3 things you need to do each day is first do your quick share question. So for Thursday, it is this week. My internet's slow, so stay with me here. Would you rather be able to create a new holiday like National Appreciate Cows Day? Okay, just joking, that would be mine. Okay, or create a new sport. Okay, like any other sport you want to do, like silent ball might be a new sport. Okay, choose which one you want to do and go ahead and turn that one in. Okay, and then we have our lesson, which I'm going to go to today, and when we get done, you're going to submit your assignment for Thursday. Okay, so going to Thursday's lesson, there we are in the materials in the slideshow, and that's the way I'm going to teach you through. Again, reminder, and then this video is always going to be linked on my web page too. So if you'd rather go through the video with me, you sure can. So here is our lesson for today. Just patiently waiting for it to load. Okay, so we're on workshop 3, day 3, and it's Thursday, April 2nd, and our learning target is I can identify and explain important details from an informational text. Remember, informational text gives information. If you need a quick reminder or you want to watch that anchor video again about dystopia, since that's what our whole workshop is about, there's a link right here on the slide so you can watch that if you want to get dystopia back in your brain. Otherwise, today we are working on page 130 and 131, pages 130, 131, and you can again just follow along in the slideshow, or you can use your paper pencil packet. Okay, so today we are looking at the informational text all about dystopia literature. Okay? And we're going to be looking for the important characteristics about dystopian literature. But first we're going to start with our 2 new vocabulary words up on the left-hand side. Our first word is perfect. Okay? And it means to be without flaws or defects. So I'm going to just swipe here now to our answers so you can fill that in. And the example says, describe your idea of a perfect day. And they give you some examples here. My idea of a perfect day would be, so I'm going to say it in the sentence, my idea of a perfect day would include spending time with my kids outside. Make sure as you're finishing that sentence that you put that punctuation at the end. Our next word is imaginary. Imaginary. It means something that is not real. Something that is not real. Here's your example. What is one imaginary place that you have read about? And here it is. One imaginary place that I have read about is the Land of Oz from The Wizard of Oz, Hogwarts from Harry Potter or Wonderland. One place I always think about when I was little is Bear Country from the Berenstain Bears. If you ever saw that, I would love to see their treehouse from the Berenstain Bears. So you can use any imaginary place that you've read about. If you want to put one from a movie, that's fine too. Please make sure that it's imaginary. Okay, going back to our text now, today we're going to read the text World's Gone Wrong by Jennifer Johnson, and this again is an informational text. As I read through the first time to you, I want you to think about what is this text mostly about. Reminder, that's the main idea or the key idea. What is this text mostly about? World's Gone Wrong by Jennifer Johnson. Paragraph 1. Picture this. You live in a small town. Each year, you and your neighbors gather for special events. Everyone is friendly. Then, suddenly, your neighbors turn into a violent mob. Or this, the world appears to be perfect. There is no poverty or war. Remember, poverty means poor. Everyone is equal, but you have no choices. Even your future has been decided for you. Sounds pretty bad, right? Fortunately, these are imaginary situations. They exist only in a type of fiction called dystopian literature. Life in dystopia is usually miserable. Maybe a war is raging. Often evil people rule. Individuals have no freedom or choice. They cannot escape. A utopia is the opposite. It's a perfect world. Everyone in a utopia is happy. Where do dystopian writers get their ideas? Sometimes they're inspired by real-life events. For example, The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins tells about life after a brutal war. The world is bleak. People are poor and hungry. That could be real life. But then the author adds fear and conflict to the story. She invents a world in which young people are chosen to compete in a reality show. They must fight to the death to honor their districts. Only one person can survive. Today, dystopian fiction is popular among teens. Why? There are several reasons. A teen blogger says young people are rebellious. They like to read about teens fighting the system. Another teen comments that dystopian fiction helps her escape her own problems. One teen thinks dystopias are scary. You wonder, he says, could this ever happen to us? Of course it could. Couldn't. Or could it? Okay, your reading question for the first time through was, what is this text mostly about? And I'm just flipping through here to the next slide. And reminder, to find that key idea, we have to ask ourselves, okay, who or what is it about and why it's important? So what is this text all about? Dystopian literature. Right? So over up in the top right-hand corner where it says, what is the main idea of the text? Going to fill out that. The main topic of this text is dystopian literature. What does the author want us to know about dystopian literature? That it's imaginary. Okay, so you're going to fill in, the main topic of this text is dystopian literature, and that's an imaginary. Now, as I continue on through the questions, it asks, okay, what are the important details of this text? Okay. And when you think about the details, remember, these are the ones that tell us, okay, who, what, where, when, why, how. Okay. So these are all what about dystopian literature? What makes it different than other types of fiction? And when we look for the details, we want to look at our supporting paragraphs in paragraphs 3, 4, and 5. And each one of those has a topic. Like life in dystopia is usually miserable. And then it gives all those details. Or paragraph 4, where do dystopian writers get their ideas? Well, they're inspired by real life events. Okay? And then what else is important to know about dystopian literature? And look at paragraph 5. It tells us right there in that first sentence that dystopian fiction is popular among teens. Okay? These are going to be your best supporting details. Okay? So now on the side, you're going to write your supporting details down. You can number it 1, 2, and 3, or you can just write those 3 sentences in your own words. Okay? You might want to pause me now and fill those in. Okay? And I'm going to go to the last piece of our lesson, which is the foundational skills right down at the bottom. And this part of the text is just giving you a way to solve new words. And one of that is to break your word down into syllables. And it gives you some strategies you can use to break it into syllables. And then one of those ways is to count the vowel spots. Remember, vowels are A, E, I, O, and U. So if you look where the vowels are in the words, it's going to give you a clue where to break it. So if in the word comment, I have the vowel O and E, I want to break it right between those 2 consonants, the 2 M's, so I have comment. Okay? Or reason, where we have that vowel team, we have reason. Or escape, escape. Okay? So the next part, you're just going to break it into syllables and circle the vowel spots. So invent. Okay? Well, I know I have I. I'm going to circle for a vowel. And then E is another vowel, so I'm going to circle it. And if I hear it in, there's 1 syllable, so I'm going to draw the line right after in, invent. Go ahead and try the next 4 on your own. And once you're done, at the end of the slide, so reminder, you can always check your work. Okay, give it a try first, though, because this will help you solve those new words. Once your page is all done, reminder that you want to submit your work to me. All of your work for this week is going to be due tomorrow, so make sure you get that into me. Reminder, you can either take a picture and submit it using your Google Classroom from your paper pencil packet, or you can complete a Notability. Okay, hope you're all doing well. Make sure you check with me if you have any questions. Talk to you later. Love you. Bye.